Welcome, everyone, to episode 4 of your favorite podcast, Create Your Joy. We're so pleased, Ivania and I, that you have joined us. And today we're going to be discussing the song Find My Way by Fearless Soul. And this is a lovely song that Ivania introduced to me. And I want to hand it over to her first to share her thoughts about the song and tell us about the first verse.
And thank you, Shruti, for that beautiful introduction. Hi, beautiful community. I am so happy you guys are back. I am so happy you guys really liked our podcast, and I loved how everyone started to enjoy and creating their own perspective. So I really, really loved that. I had a lot of comments, persons that I know, and they really, really loved our podcast. Yes, I was actually listening to music and I bumped into this song, which I don't know the artist. I never heard them before. And when I saw the name, which is like Find My Way, it's like I felt like I needed to hear that song because we're always trying to find our way. That's what we in search in our journey. What's my way? Where I'm going? And anyways, I'm going to start with that, with the song where it starts. It says, sometimes I'm not sure who I am, or even if I'm where I'm supposed to be. Grateful for all of my memories, starting to feel like I need new air. So just those introduction to me, it's amazing because it's like sometimes I like that when it says sometimes, because not all the time we finding our way. It's because we found our way, and then we're going with life and we're going with our situations. But when something goes wrong, or we face an obstacle or something very difficult or challenge, or that we need to change something in our lives, that's when we come back and say we need to find our way. Like that path that we saw that was clear, something is put in place and we're not able to see our way. So we had to find our way. So I really love, it has so much to say. It says, I'm not sure who I am. And then when we lost our sense of who we are, of our passion or our journey or what we need to do, we doubt who we are. And that's why, like, okay, who am I supposed to be? What's my journey? What's my path? What's my dharma? For the ones that know what the dharma means, it's like your duty, your journey into this life, but you need to offer to community, to human beings, to whoever in this earth. And he said, or even if I'm where I'm supposed to be, it's not sure, like, are we supposed to be here? We're supposed to be somewhere else. And that's like the conversation that we start to have internally. And I want you to go back and want you guys to know that the higher self, when I say higher self, I mean, the ultimate, the God, for the lack of a better word, or the universe that is always speaking to us, that is guiding us. And the lower self, which is the ego, that's always tried to be so loud, we get confused because of the daily life and everything that we think that we should be, but then we're not. So when it goes by, in the second line, it says, grateful for all of my memories. And when she says that to me, it means that all the memories, which is the experience that we're gathering since day one. Not that we remember all of them, but the most important ones we remember.
Yeah.
And that's why we're so grateful, because that shows us where we were. And it shows us that every time is an evolution. Mm-hmm. It's not like that we go back. It's like it's an evolution, stages. And also it says, starting to feel, when she's going into this reflection inwardly, it says, starting to feel like I need new air. When it says new air, to me, it says, I need a new change. I need to move forward. I'm ready for the next evolution of my better version of myself.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot, Shruti, like I really can go on and on and on, but I would love to hear your thoughts on
Yeah,
the first
definitely.
verse.
I mean, the song itself, just to hear it the first time, it felt like listening to my own spiritual journey in a way, and how that discovery happened for me. And this is the song that I wish I had during the times where I felt like I couldn't go on this path, or felt like, oh, everything was so hard. So I would definitely recommend that this could be a great anthem for anyone that's doing the hard work of looking within right now, because all of us need a little bit of that nudging in the right direction, and a little bit of support and encouragement. And one of our purposes in bringing this podcast to you is to find songs that inspire and nurture your creative spirit, and your spiritual path. Because again, in our world today, sometimes spirituality is kind of put in its own little category aside from the rest of our life. But where I come from in India, the philosophy, Hindu philosophy, is very much about the way of life, how you live it. And in that context, spirituality is a beautiful part of our larger life. It's not different from us. So I find that this particular song, just kind of brings that point home to me, about like, hey, as I'm going about my daily duties, I can listen to this song and feel inspired. So that's something that really sits with me here. And I loved how you analyzed and dove deeply into those first few lines, because yeah, the song just felt like a very sweet and soothing anthem for me. And I actually want to share the next few lines, which will become the chorus of this song. And I just think it's beautiful. Um, so it says, "Today isn't my forever." And oh my gosh, what an eye-opening thing to say out loud. Because one of the most important things, especially when we're in a difficult situation, is we feel like it's going to last forever. If we're having a bad day, we just think that it's going to be a bad life. And so that, I think, is a really powerful thing to say out loud. Today isn't my forever. Even this moment isn't my forever if I'm having a really bad experience. I'm always changing for the better. And what a lovely thing to say, that as human beings, for women anyway, at around age 18, we stop growing vertically, but that throughout our human life, we can grow in other ways. We can grow in our learning ability, we can grow in our spirituality, and that until the moment of death, we continue growing. And then it says, I listen closely to my soul to know what I've got to let go. And I think this is just such a stunning concept, that you are complete in every moment, and you just have to realize what's standing in your way. And sometimes it's our own self, some part of our unexamined life, that needs to be let go. And in some cases, just forgiven, forgiving ourselves for our past mistakes. That is a powerful practice that, for example, has helped me to move forward in my life. Those are the first four lines of the chorus. I don't know if you have anything to add there, Ivania. I just find them so powerful. I love this song.
Oh my God, it's so powerful. I just wanted to add one thing, like in the previous line, when you say the way of life.
Yeah.
Oh my God, really resonate with me, because that's what we're trying to do, to create a lifestyle, to create a way of life. And that was beautiful. In the second verse, today is my forever, and all that, all what you said to me it sums up like, this shall pass.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not gonna stay there forever. And I can see how it start, like the communication with the higher self and the lower self, having that understanding.
Yeah.
And she's talking to herself with love, with compassion, kindness. I
Yeah.
love this verse, because she
Exactly.
understands what are the things she needs to let go.
Yeah. Beautiful, beautiful. And then the chorus continues and it says, and every single day I'm looking forward, be brave, embrace change. And I just think that these are daily reminders that all of us need to counter the effects of our inner critic. And again, I became so aware of the power of my own inner critic. And I'll let you into my psyche a little bit. My inner critic, I have named her, is called Prudy, because she can be a bit of a prude and is very stuck in the mud with, with her ways. And in the course of my own spiritual development, I've had to embrace that Prudy is always going to be there. And but I don't have to have hate against her. That what I need instead is reminders to tell me something positive to counteract the fears that Prudy brings up within me. And so every single day I'm looking forward, being brave and embracing change. And the words in this song just inspire me so much. And, also bring some comfort to that inner critic, to my Prudy. And so this is a technique, actually, a coaching technique that you can try is, make friends with that inner critic within you, because some of us are trying to get rid of the inner critic, and you'll find that that process is so painful. It doesn't have to be gotten rid of. It just has to be made friends with. And taking steps into the unknown, breaking free and finding clarity. I can't tell you how challenging my own life felt to me until I made friends with the unknown, with the void. This is what we call the void in the process of transformation. And until I felt comfortable with the unknown, just being aware that I can't possibly know everything in advance. That's something the intellect might want or need or hanker after, but it's not something that we need. And just to give you an analogy, when we're working with cement, right? If we want to shape it into something, you have to work with the cement while it's wet. You can't really work with it once it's fully solidified. And so in the same way, if the unknown is kind of like that wet cement, it's fluid, it floats. And once it has fully hardened, then you can't really do much with it. Then you have to just kind of accept it. So that helped me to see the unknown as this beautiful creative opening rather than as a threat, which is what our conditioned mind wants us to do. And so breaking free from that and finding clarity, when you accept the unknown, when you accept the presence of the inner critic and make friends with it, there is this stunning clarity and joy that comes. And you can see this joy in both Ivania and I's, both of our eyes. And that's the reason why, because we have broken free. What's best for me? I will find my way. Every single day, I find my way. And I think this last set of lines in the chorus is meant to just remind you again and again that what is in the best, the highest good of myself and others will help me find my way. Meaning when I'm making a decision, if I'm thinking through, the consequences for myself and others around me, that will help me find my way forward. And I love that it says that every time, every single day, because it reinforces the other part of the chorus that says, today isn't my forever. Everything is changing, and that's a beautiful thing. And I think it just, to borrow from mindset coaching for a moment, it just changes your mindset to view change as something positive rather than as a threat, which is what our conditioning teaches us.
Yeah, no, so beautiful. Well said. One of the things I wanted to add, that every single day, to me, when I hear that every single day, for me, it's like every moment, like in the moment. Yeah. We're not talking about yesterday, we're not talking tomorrow, but every single day, like today. And also like being brave and embrace the change, taking the step into the unknown. when I hear that taking the step into the unknown, it's like you say, like breaking free.
Yeah.
Because we're so afraid of the unknown. So we actually, with that of being afraid, we're holding ourselves back on not making that change or not taking that step. That's why we go back to the coaching and always focus in baby steps. So so we can do something that's more sustainable, that you're able to see your next step, because you're able to see you're not going into the deep end.
Right.
And one of the things is that if we think about it, the unknown, the changes that we make, it's actually, it makes us evolved.
Right.
That's why I'm saying, like, we evolve in every single stage in our lives.
Yeah.
So the unknown is actually good.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be bad, because we don't know. It's just a limit. It's our limited minds that we predicted our own future by imagining the wrong things.
Exactly. Very well
Which
said.
we use it, like if we try to, like shift. Sorry, that's what I'm looking for. Shift our minds. If we're going out of our way to create a story in a negative way, why don't we go out of our way to create like the story in the most positive way? Because we do it anyways. So that's something that I really liked from this course, and also if frees, it's gonna make us feel free from the challenges, because we look at the challenges and sometimes we feel stuck.
Yeah.
We look at it like, no, it's not going to stay the same. It's every day. It's different. There's something that I can do to change that. And like I said, I will find my way every single day. I find my way. And it's also like, this is to me also like a mantra. Something is like a mantra that you said to yourself. I will find my way. Every single day I will find my way. And when you also programming yourself, just of your subconscious, the subconscious is actually helping you to find the way, because you're focusing on finding the way. You're not focusing or I'm stuck, or I can't do it, I cannot do this. You're moving your mindset from not seeing the unknown, but actually shifting into I'll find my way. Even though you don't know what it is your way.
Exactly. Oh, that's beautiful. Beautiful, Ivania.
So I love this song. I mean, we can take it different ways, in different paths, and we can see in different ways, and which I encourage, our audience to dive into the lyrics and find the perspective and to reflect on it.
Exactly.
And also to share it with us, because with that, we're able to increase our awareness, our perception, and maybe look at it in a different way as well.
Exactly. Exactly. I just wanted to mention something here, Ivania, that in being able to stand in different viewpoints and look at different perspectives, it also increases our own intellectual flexibility in being able to look at different viewpoints, but also keep ourselves from becoming too close-minded. Because often, beyond a certain age, once we're done with schooling, it's so hard for us to find access to information that really challenges our limiting beliefs, or that really challenges the way we currently think. And really, the most beautiful way to continue growing is to allow ourselves to look at a viewpoint. It doesn't have to be an opposing viewpoint right away if that's hard for you, but to build that mental flexibility so that you can reach a point where you can even talk to someone that has the opposite beliefs of you, and you can do it in a civil way. And one of my favorite quotes is that it's the mark of an educated mind, that it can hold different viewpoints without, without feeling so caught up in just one of them. So I really think that it is a process. It's a part of our growth. And I loved how you shared your perspective about that chorus. It's really powerful.
Oh, yes, it is super powerful. Yeah. So let's move into the next verse, where it says, nothing is good, nothing is bad. I let life happen and I take it all in. I choose to focus on myself. and promise to always put myself first. Oh my God, this is so much in here, Shruti. Like, I love this part too, because she's she's not making a decision. Is saying this is bad and this is good. So I feel what she's doing, she's taking a step back and observing, just looking at it without any judgment, without putting a name, a tag, oh, that's bad, or that's good. We don't know what's good and what's bad, in a sense that for other people might be good and for other people might be not good. So it's more about observing on your own, like you. It goes back to herself, says, I see life, I let life happen. Like when we walk into the park and we look at nature,
Yeah.
just looking at nature, nature is doing its own. It's only his own. And it says, I take all in. And that's what it said, like when we in life are we taking everything all in. But at the same time, when she's doing it, it says, I choose to focus. Now she's making a decision for her own.
Yeah.
I choose to focus on myself. Meaning, like, I'm working on myself. I'm working on my inner child. I'm working in my own journey. I'm working inwardly in the path that I really want to create my life or my lifestyle. And I promise always to put myself first. This little line which says, I promise to always put myself first, is such a powerful line, because when you're working in your inwardly, when you're working in yourself and you're trying to understand your higher self and the lower self, and how we have to have this healthy communication and balance, that at the same time you start to understand other people around you, and that will make you less judgmental. You understand, you're giving them their grace, you're giving them their space.
Yeah.
And then that's how you become selfless, because then it doesn't become about you, it's about them. Because it's not about me, it's about all of you. But in order for me to see that, in order for me to understand it, I have to do that inward, that work, the spiritual work, or just to reflect in who I am, where I am standing, what are my values, and what am I here to do? What is my service to humanity? It is so powerful. I really love this, Shruti.
Oh, I can appreciate that. And I just love the way, in your viewpoint, you always bring us back to the higher and the lower self. And in this particular case, I loved how you talked about this paradox of needing to go inside to become more selfless. And I think that's a very hard thing for people in my arena of work, which is self-love and empowerment, which is they say, well, oh my gosh, am I not being selfish if I delve into self-love? And I say, well, actually, you're becoming self-full, in the sense that when you're full of love for who you are or who you're becoming, and you're giving your precious compassion and attention, you're shining the light of your compassion onto yourself, you're actually so full of joy that it naturally spills over onto the people around you. And that's really what I heard you say, in terms of becoming more selfless, because you're able to better meet other people just the way they are, because you're comfortable with who you are. You're comfortable in your own skin. And for anyone on this earth who has been a teenager, we know the angst that comes with that time in our life, when we don't know who we are, when we feel so buffeted by the winds of change around us, and so buffeted by the opinions of others, by trends and what have you. And there's nothing wrong with that. We have to go through those challenges to find who we truly are. And the beauty, I think, of this work is that you can do this inward journey at any point in your life. You could be 5 years old, you could be 85 years old, you could be, just born and learning to walk, and you could be on your deathbed, and you can still begin the process of doing the internal work. And I find that that is so redeeming, just like education, you can start learning at any age. and you just meet yourself where you are. So anyway, this particular verse, just the way you described it, fills me with such hope for all of us, even though we're going through this intense period of time in our outside reality right now. It's the perfect invitation to find our stability within. So I loved how you described that. And moving forward, we're back to the chorus. And I just wanted to share one line that really, touched me in the chorus. And that was, be brave, embrace change. And I just wanted to spend a moment on that, which is just to say that there's a reason why change feels so threatening within us. And for many of us, that's deeply rooted in how we navigated change as a child, and especially, as a child, how we might have felt very emotionally dysregulated when change was occurring around us. And so as an adult, it's okay for us that we need to be more brave. We need to be courageous to overcome this deep mental groove that we have within us around the idea that change is somehow bad or change could be negative. And so I just wanted to share that viewpoint as well, that there's a reason why it says, be brave, embrace change, because it does require that additional energy to get you going. But once you're able to shift that mindset, you can always remind yourself to be brave the next time it happens. And the more times you're able to meet that change with positivity, it's going to become just a little easier, and your mental groove is going to get rewired essentially over a period of time.
Yeah, beautiful. I just wanted to add a little bit of when you said about being brave.
Yeah.
I just want to share that we are brave. We've always been brave.
Yeah.
Always. Because we always have faced a challenge since day one. Which even like we were babies, the challenge, we're not able to speak, we're not able to walk, but somehow we have that communication, that skill, attached to the mother, where we're able to say, I'm hungry, I need to change my diaper. So we always been brave. We're not able to do this. We always find a way.
Yes.
That's why I love this song, because we always finding a way in whatever stage we are in our lives. And like you said, it doesn't matter when you start your journey, spiritual journey, you can always start at any point.
Yeah, exactly.
So I wanted to add that. And let me read the other verse where it says, whatever stays, whatever goes, I know what's best for me will happen. I'm ready to put myself first. So I really love this, because she said, whatever stays is whatever I don't need to change, because it's not like we change the whole thing, but little things that are stopping us or that are not making us happy, or whatever it's in a way to get where we need to get or to evolve. But we're still being like with the memories, we still keep the memories. And so whatever it goes, whatever you need to let go, you're letting it go with peace, because it's okay. Because whatever you had or whatever challenge you are or you had before, it was for a purpose, but it's no longer serving you anymore. So that's why we have to remove that. And then it says, I know what's best for me. And this is really beautiful when it says, I know what's best for me, because that's where, like in coaching, we don't give advice in coaching, because the client knows what's best for them. And what we do is we're asking questions to look inwardly and helping them, to guide them, to give them a safe space so they can go inward. So that's why it says the expert is the client. The expert is you in your life. No one else is the expert in yourself of what's best for you, only you. And I love that because it will happen, whatever will happen, I'm ready. I put myself first because you're going to have to face it first before anybody else. And however you face it, then that will help you. So you put in yourself first. And when you do that, then you see your other surroundings, the people around you, how they coming up too. So that's why we're able to be more compassionate to people, be more kind to people, because they're in their own journey as well.
Yeah.
And that's that transition, a little by little, be more selfless.
Yeah.
And hopefully someday, you know, like I say, it's just about everyone except enough for you.
Yeah.
But that's the thing, because you've done your work.
Exactly. Exactly. Oh, I loved how you said that, Ivania, and the idea that you putting yourself first doesn't mean that that's the only thing you're doing. You put yourself first so you can deepen that capacity for love and then share with others. So the purpose, the intention is ultimately to be more selfless and more available to others. And yet, in order to do that, you have to begin the work within yourself, which is such a flip from the conditioning that we receive, where so many of us for so many years of our life think that we have to somehow control the outside. And I just want to share here that one practice, especially in the pandemic, that I started doing is I started drawing a circle. And inside the circle, I would list the things that were under my control. Because for many of us in the pandemic, it was so emotionally challenging because we didn't know what was going to happen. There was so much unpredictability. We didn't know what was truly in our control anymore. And so it helped me to write down what was in my control and all of the things that were out of my control. And I see that reflected in the lines here that say, whatever stays, whatever goes, because that's really what we had to become used to. And even now, look at the year 2023, all the storms and disasters and challenges, economic challenges that have occurred. Those of us that have been deeply anchored in our self-love, deeply anchored in that positive mindset, have, found a way to ride those waves up and down, and I really think that that's the superpower here. And to know what's best for you, you first have to make friends with yourself to understand what does it mean, what is best for you. And to have that faith that it will happen when you're ready, right?
Yes.
And I really think, as you were reading those lines, that came brilliantly to me, that one of the most important things is that when you begin to tap into that self-love, you begin to have that faith again. Because who are you putting the faith in? You're putting the faith in like you would say, your higher self. You're putting the faith that you're supported throughout life. And I think that's a beautiful change. And finally, coming back to the chorus again, I just love the lines of this chorus. And in this case, again, it comes back, it is resonating with me. It says, what's best for me, I will find my way, and this idea that so many of us go through our life thinking that our parents know what's best for us, our teachers know what's best for us, our political leaders know what's best for us. But actually, in reality, only you can know what's best for you. And in coaching, the fact that we embrace this principle, and like you were saying, Ivania, that we hold the client as the expert in their own life. And we too, in our podcast, anything that we share with you, you are going to run it through your judgment to decide if you want to adopt, any of the strategies that we share, or even listen to any of the songs that we discuss here. And like you were saying before about it feeling like a mantra, the song ends with saying, every single day I find my way. Every single day I find my way. Every single day I find my way. And I love that because it's a daily reminder that can get us unstuck when we're feeling stuck and feeling like today's going to last forever. And I just feel like it gives, in the end here, an echo to the different verses within the song, and ultimately remind us of how redeeming, how generous, how beautiful life is. Because in a moment's change, we can find our way again. That the act of being stuck does not last.
Yes. No, that's beautiful. Well said. And like I said, it's like a mantra, or even like and we don't even have to say a mantra for people if you don't feel comfortable saying a mantra, but you could be like, it's like a note that you put it right into, I don't know, like the bathroom that you go most of the time.
Yeah.
And it said, every single day, I'll find my way. I'll find my way. So you reminded yourself, so you'll be able to see your way. So not just being focused on the problem or the obstacle,
Yeah.
but open yourself up to find your way, and you'll be able to see it.
Yeah.
And you mentioned about faith. Yes, have faith in yourself that you will find your way, because up until this point, you have.
Yes. Oh,
Because
well
we
said.
yes,
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
we have.
Exactly. Well said. Well, thank you everyone for joining us. And this was the 4th episode of the Create Your Joy podcast. And we love to connect with you every time we post an episode. We'd love for you to share songs that have inspired you. And thank you again. We're so grateful for the love and support that you have shown this podcast up until now. And if you like what you're hearing, please like and subscribe to the podcast. And we can't wait to join you again soon.
Yeah. Thank you, beautiful community.
Bye.